Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. August 31st from Daily Reflections, page 252. A unique program. Alcoholics Anonymous will never have a professional class. We have gained some understanding of the ancient words, freely you have received, freely give. We have discovered that at the point of professionalism, money and spirituality do not mix. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. So that's a funny one for me to be reading because I'm seeking to help people in 12-step programs and get paid for it, right? And I really wrestled with this for a long time, and it held me back from doing this, from wanting to reach out to people. And I was able to get to the point of making the distinction that I am not doing 12-step work per se when I coach people on what's keeping them from moving through the 12 steps. I am a form of outside help, just like counseling, just like a therapist, just like a doctor, who helps someone work through the thought errors, the incorrect beliefs or the damaging beliefs that they have about themselves and about reality and about their eating disorder or whatever, to help them finally be able to move forward in the steps. Because what I found from my own personal experience is that it was, you hear it in the rooms, like my stinking thinking. It was my mind that was keeping me prisoner from emotional sobriety. And that's like the big thing for me, is in the gift that I want to give to you that I was given from coaching, is emotional sobriety. And I was able to get abstinent in the rooms of OA. I was, but I felt like a dry drunk. I wasn't eating. I wasn't engaging in those food behaviors, but I was miserable. And I did not feel the freedom and the happiness that we hear in the promises. Not to say I hadn't started to experience many of them, but I knew that there was more. I just knew that there was more for me, and that this wasn't the full story of recovery for me. And I know a lot of people have benefited from outside help in various ways. And that's exactly what I am offering to anyone who wants to work with me. It's this freedom from the workings of our mind that create this emotional bondage. And that is why I'm doing it. That is why that's why I've now started this podcast, because I feel like I've made the distinction in my head. I feel free to do this. I'm excited to do this. I feel like I can help a lot of people, and I'm just going to go for it and see what my higher power does with it and see where it lands with people. And hopefully I am able to do some good. And in doing that, I know it helps my own recovery just to work with other addicts. But so in a way, I can think of it maybe like it can't help but feed my own recovery in a way, but the purpose of it is the specific skill set, this specific trade that I went to school for and, became credentialed in to be able to help people with their minds. And just because of my own personal experience, I know how much it can help someone in the 12 steps. So that's my little spiel about that, because it was kind of funny for me to be reading that specific excerpt, but I also like it because that is something that I wrestled with. So now I'll go on and read the reflection. I believe that Alcoholics Anonymous stands alone in the treatment of alcoholism because it is based solely on the principle of one alcoholic sharing with another alcoholic. This is what makes the program unique. When I decided that I wanted to stay sober, I called a woman who I knew was a sober member of AA, and she carried the message of Alcoholics Anonymous to me. She received no monetary compensation, but rather was paid by staying sober another day herself. Today, I could ask for no payment other than another day free from alcohol. So in that respect, I am generously paid for my labor. And that is true. And that is the amazing beauty of the 12 steps and the power of the service we provide as members of the fellowship. And I sponsor, and it's totally free. And I have a sponsor who sponsors me, totally free. And all these meetings, it is all at the benevolence of another person. And it was funny because I may have shared on this before, but someone said to me once that they couldn't believe a total stranger gave them an hour of their time. And it was not a program thing. It was not 12 steps, but it was just a different person who had just given of their time. And I was just, it hit me hard because I was like, oh my gosh, how much of my sponsor's time has she freely given me? I mean, hours, probably days at this point. Like, how much time has been gifted to me by people in program? And that too is like, that is so healing for someone. For me personally, it was so healing who didn't feel like I had any value or worth, for someone to clearly deem that I was worthy of their time being given to. And I think that was start of my healing journey too. And that was the start of learning, of being loved, learning to let myself be loved, and allowing someone to love me until I could learn to love myself. And that is just incredibly beautiful. It's irreplaceable. And that is why I am so in love with the 12 steps. There are so many facets of it that cannot be found anywhere else, and that are irreplaceable and are 1000%, I think, the reason why people of even the most extreme addiction can find healing and recovery in the 12 steps. And that's what I've got for you today. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. if you're here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.